Hey, how you doing out there, YouTube land? Chris back with another pickup video here. This one's a pretty large pickup video. I apologize if the video seems kind of wobbly or anything like that. I'm having a makeshift tripod right now because my youngest daughter back over there decided to break my tripod for one reason or another. Kind of a shame. I was only able to use it 2 or 3 times and she decides to break it. But then again, what else are young children for besides breaking your stuff, right? I mean, anybody out there who has kids know about it, which is one reason why I try to keep them away from my Nintendo collection, because I got some pretty valuable games there, and I can just imagine me coming home and Cowboy Kid being destroyed. So without further ado, here are the pickups. On my birthday on Tuesday, I decided to the 24th. I went to Game Trader 2. I had some stuff I decided to trade in, and I got a couple of good games from them. I got Bases Loaded 3, which isn't really a good game, but I actually liked the Bases Loaded series. I thought it was the better baseball series on the Nintendo besides RBI, which is probably why Bases Loaded was picked as the official games, where RBI, only the first one was an official title and the rest were all Tengen titles. If you notice on the cover, it's I don't know how, a little bit of glare there, but that's Ryan Sandberg. I never knew much about baseball. I was never a big baseball fan, or any sports really for that matter. But I knew that whenever you had a big name on there, it meant something good. And of course, I know this was the only baseball title, a series that had a character on it. I don't think Bases Loaded 4 did. Bases Loaded 3 is still a pretty cheap title. I think I paid $5 for this one. I actually got it in trade, so I didn't pay anything. But I never see it out anywhere. I see Bases Loaded 1 and 2 out everywhere. And usually 1 has the Jalico symbol up the top. This one's, it's got the Bases Loaded 3. I'm pretty sure Bases Loaded 2 and 4 each have their title up there as well. But basic, Jalico baseball type of game. You're human, nothing crazy. You're hitting a ball, and there you go. Okay, then we got a Kimco Seika game, which is the Uninvited. First of all, I love that cover art. I don't know how well you can see it, but that is some crazy shit. But Uninvited is a point-and-click adventure, which is what Kimco Seika was known for. They put out some pretty good games. It's a hard game. It takes a while to get used to. Point-and-click works, but it's rough on the Nintendo. I'm pretty sure there was a Nintendo mouse. It might have been easier with that. On computers, they work great for whatever reason, but on Nintendo, they weren't that great. The music's pretty decent. The animation's pretty good for being Nintendo. But overall, it's a pretty entertaining game. I'm going to skip the middle pickup I had because of the fact of how huge it is, and I want to save that for last. But let's see here. Yesterday, I picked up 2 items. I went and picked up a copy of MiG-29 Soviet fighter made by Camerica and by Codemasters, which did quite a few unlicensed games for the Nintendo, like Micro Machines, which is one of my favorites. This game is kind of hard to explain the way it works. There's a 3D sequence, which kind of looks like Top Gun, but from the back, and you're going around shooting things coming in. Then there's Close Combat Quarters, which plays like Micro Machines almost. There's an enemy warship stage, which plays like 1942, 1943. There's a refueling segment, which anybody who played Top Gun knows the refueling segments suck horribly. But this actually isn't a real bad game. The guy said it was sealed, and I believed them at first because I picked up the sealed copy of Motor City Patrol from them, the one I showed you guys a few videos ago. And when I picked this up, sure enough, it had a seal on it, but it was split on this side, it was split on that side, so I went ahead and opened it. And I noticed there was like tobacco on the inside of it, and there was a cigarette butt actually pushed all the way down here. But everything's in here, the plastic's in there, the map, the manual's in there, the poster's in there. So, I mean, it's all pretty complete. And they actually did something on the cover where they put a star, and it's just a game silver. It shines through. It's pretty interesting. So anyway, also yesterday I picked up, that was $10 by the way. Yesterday I picked up a copy of James Bond Jr. The back's a little rough, but This is actually a show that I used to love watching as a kid. This is put out by THQ, which also did the toys, and I'm pretty sure they might have done the cartoon as well. I'm not sure, but I used to watch this cartoon, and the game sucks horribly. It's a really hard action platformer. You can die within the first few minutes if you're not careful. It's actually hard. It's hard, like challenging hard. It's hard, stupid hard. It's kind of like Mega Man. Will you please quit, Jaden?
Okay.
And so then on to the very big lot here. There's a guy who I know named Danny who got a hold of me and told me this woman had all these Nintendo games, and she was going to sell them all for between $3 and $5 each. And she had games like Fire and Ice, Panic Restaurant, Princess Tomato, a whole bunch of other ones. And I'm like, dude, I don't know. It seems kind of odd to me. But then I started thinking about the price. I'm like, even if they were repro cards, they would be more than $3 to $5 each. So maybe this is one of those cases where this woman had games and didn't know what they were. So he goes and meets her because he didn't give me the information yet, and I wouldn't have pulled out from under his feet anyway. I'm not that type of person. But he meets her, and sure enough, he picks up Fire and Ice with the manual for $5. Panic Restaurant with the manual for $5. Cowboy Kid complete in box, manual and box. Granted, the manual and box are kind of in rough shape, probably maybe a 5/10, a 6 out of 10, but still $5 for it. Princess Tomato with the manual, $5. Quite a few other games. The part that upsets me is the fact that he bought them just to resell them, which I can't get too mad at him about because I know he needs the money. I know it's rough. And he actually ended up selling all those along with a complete box copy of Ren and Stimpy Buckaroos and a couple other to another guy I know named Alex for a pretty good amount of money. And still saved quite a bit of money buying them all him. But he picked me up a couple of games which I haven't got yet, like Jurassic Park, Supercars, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. He's keeping Princess Tomato for me, so I'm supposed to be getting those next week or the week after. And it looks like Little Caesars is back here sponsoring us. But anyway, so I get hold of this woman, and I tell her, hey, my friend Danny says that you have all these games, and I need quite a few of them. Is there any way that we can work something out? Because I probably can't see you until this weekend. I want to make sure I get them. She goes, yeah. So we worked something out to where she came with my job actually on Friday and dropped them off, and I paid her. And basically, I picked up a big box of porn. Oh, sorry, a big box of games. But it's pretty funny. And well, the first thing I got from her was a complete in box Super Game Boy, which, as you can see, looks pretty freaking sweet. This was $10. I think I already had somebody who wants to buy it off me for $20, so I'll probably do it because I'm not that big into the Super Nintendo collecting, and I already have a Super Game Boy loose, so I figured I'd probably go out and sell that. Okay, and now the games. 2 games I picked out were from a friend. I'll tell you what games those are. But anyway, the games I needed, these were $3 each because they didn't have the manual. There's the Untouchables, which is by Ocean. I'm pretty sure there's 2 versions of this released. One where you could see their faces and whatnot from the movie, and the other one where you couldn't. And I think it was because of like copyright infringements or something. But anyway, so I got Untouchables, which is put out by Ocean. Let's see here. I got The Last Ninja, which is put out by Jellico. This game I tried playing. It is very freaking hard. It plays on like a diagonal screen, and you're kind of moving around. I thought I killed a guy, but he got back up and started beating my ass. And I'm like, wow, what the hell? It has a little sticker on it, National Video Library thing. I don't know if you can see it or not, National Video Library. And then has like a little blue sticker on the side. Those would be easy to come off. The stickers, the label's a little rough, but that happens. It feels like it's one of the paper labels. But then I got Tiny Toons Cartoon Workshop. This game is put out by Konami? Yeah, Konami. It's put out by Konami. Basically, you make little video clips featuring the Tiny Toon characters. You can like record them and play them and save them. It's not really much of a game, more like a simulator. And this came from a place called Pick a Video. And they wanted to make sure you knew who these games came from. They had a security sticker on the back. It has the security sticker on the side. It has the Pick a Video sticker here. I don't think Pick a Video is around anymore, but they also, here it is. really pisses me off is PAV. They decided to engrave those onto the games. Luckily, they engraved them onto the cart, which isn't so bad. If I really wanted to be, I could probably get the labels off, put them on donor cart, but I'm not really worried about that. But either way, I got that, so it was $3. Caveman Games by Data East. A really fun game. Kind of plays like Crash and the Boys and Track and Field and typical game where you got like multiple races and everything else. But like on one of the races, like you're both running away from a saber-toothed tiger, and you can get 8 if you're too slow, which I think is pretty funny. Data East put out some great games. I think Caveman Games might have been in the arcade. I can't remember if I played it or not in the arcade. Then we have put out by I can't talk. Broderbund. It is the Guardian Legend. It is a I believe, yeah, this is a shooter, like a first-person type space shooter thing, where you're going forward and everything's flying at you at really quick speeds. It's a really hard game. It kind of plays like Gyrus, I guess you could say. I think it's Gyrus is the one. It's a rough game, but it's pretty fun. It'll keep you entertained. Great music. And then there is another pick a video with all the stickers here. We got Legends of the Diamond. It's a typical baseball game. Plays just like most of the other ones. RBI, bases loaded, all those. The only difference is the fact that you play as some major characters in the game. Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, all the legends of the Diamond. This is the only one that actually had any real label damage. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, oh wow, you can really see it there. It's definitely some label damage. I have a friend who I made a trade with who's supposed to be getting me a complete unboxed copy of this. So when that happens, I'll probably just trade this one off. And I want to thank Lalo for that one. Lalo, I hope I don't kill your name. Yet another pick a video one. And this is Adventures of Tom Sawyer, put out by Sega. I've heard say this is put out by Bandai. This is put out by Sega. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. I loved Tom Sawyer. I loved reading Tom Sawyer when I was a kid. This game, I didn't get really far into it. I tried playing it. The animation is that of the Atari. I mean, it looks like Atari 2600 graphics. I am not kidding. The music is pretty shoddy as well. I'm going to sit down and play it one day. Hopefully it gets good. If not, it's just another one for the pile, but it is what it is. So I paid $3 for all those. Now comes the other part where $5 for all these because they all have the book. We have Romstar's Championship Bowling. It comes with the book. It's in pretty good shape. No label damage, no engravings, no anything. $5 for that. It's typical bowling game. It's up to 4 players, which is, yeah, 4 players. Which there weren't a lot of 4-player games for the Nintendo, so take it where you can. Then we get, this is actually the cleanest label I've ever seen for this game. It is Acclaim's Bartman, The Simpsons, Bartman meets Radioactive Man. It is the third, I believe it's the third one in the series. Either that or Bart vs. the World, I can't remember. But anyway, this came after Bart vs. Space Mutants. And what I like is, this dude kind of looks like one of the Omicronians from Futurama, and this dude kind of looks like Dr. Zoidberg, if you can see it or not, yeah. And it came with the manual. Manual's in really great shape as well. Then we got a game that I've never played, and once again, it looks like Atari-type graphics, so I'm kind of glad I didn't play it right away. This actually came from a store that I used to visit quite a bit here in Granite called Dave's Movies and More. They're still open, but they no longer do video games. They feel that it's almost like a dying market, especially with all the downloadable video games and red boxes and all that. I'm actually surprised this mom and pop store is still open. But anyway, this is called, who's it put up by? I can't see because Electro Brain, who it's put up by. It's called Stanley and the Search for Dr. Livingston. It is horrible graphics, but look at that cover art. I mean, that cover art is just, it's crazy looking. And then the manual, you know, it's kind of messed up. But I love games with cool, crazy, you know, cover art. It's something that we don't really see that much anymore. And talk about cool cover art, this is another Konami game, or Ultra game is what it was put out under as. And this is Roller Games. And once again, it came with the manual. And roller games, I never played it when I was younger. I decided to give it a chance recently. And it is a fun game. You basically are on skates, you're going around beating people up. It's a pretty intriguing type of game. They have like sewers that you can fall down, so it's kind of like Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. And the style actually kind of reminds me of Turtles 2, the arcade game. But it's a fun game. I think it might be 2 players. I haven't really tried it out yet. But if you haven't played it yet, try it. The music's good, being a Konami game. Most of the time it usually is. And that's really all I got to say about it. I don't want to ramble on. Then we have a Game Tech game. We have Wheel of Fortune with Vanna White. So I paid $5 for it. $5 is a little high for this one, but it makes up for it with all the other prices I've saved. And this one comes with the manual, and this label is like phenomenal shape. I mean, for some reason, anytime I see a Wheel of Fortune game or Jeopardy game or whatever, they're usually tore up all the hell. I don't know why. I guess people don't care. Um, then we have another Kimco Seika game, which is another point-and-click game. And this one is called Deja Vu. And Deja Vu is another one I've actually been looking for a while. I like the cover art with him holding the cover of him holding himself, of him holding a picture of himself. And this kind of goes on, which is kind of nifty. It's one of those everlasting effects. Point and click game. The music, in my opinion, is much better than like the Uninvited and whatnot, which once again has good music. But Kimco Seika definitely upped their game on Deja Vu. It's a really fun game. Then for my friend, I picked up a copy of who the hell made this? Mindscape Inc. Paperboy. It's kind of funny. I don't know who played it because Paperboy was one of my favorites as a kid. I actually already had 1 and 2. He wanted it, so I went and got it for him. It was supposed to be on hold, but apparently the guy told her that these games were priced too high, and he wouldn't spend, $3 to $5 on them, which I think is kind of crazy because $3 to $5, $5 is usually the most I would pay for most games. Some of these games are really good, like this one, Gremlins 2, which was put out by Sunsoft. Once again, I loved Sunsoft, and Gremlins 2 was a great game. You go around as Mogwai and you Gizmo, and you're going around throwing tomatoes at gremlins, and you're fighting all different types of gremlins, and you get the little paperclip bow and arrow, which is really good, and the instruction manual comes with it. I want to get the box for this one later. I may just buy a complete unbox. It might be easier that way and just end up selling or trading off this one. But Gremlins 2 was a great game, Sunsoft game. Sunsoft and the next person here, Capcom, were the best Nintendo games in my opinion. And like I said, speaking of Capcom, we have Capcom's Chippendales Rescue Rangers. Look at this label. This label is like immaculate. I'll probably... I have a friend who wants the Chippendales, and I'm going to sell him mine probably for $5 because mine's not quite as glossy as this. And I'll probably just keep this one along with the manual, and I'm definitely going to look for the box for that one because I love Chippendales Rescue Rangers. Used to watch the cartoon all the time when I was a kid. The show's awesome, or the game is awesome. Platformer, going around picking up apples and crates and everything else and throwing them at people. A lot of people don't really like it, but I think it's a great fun. A lot of other games followed it, like DuckTales had the same formula. I can't remember which one came first. Jetsons basically had the same formula. Anyway, then another Game Tech game. We have Hollywood Squares. This is the only one where the manual's a little rough, but it's not a big deal. I mainly picked this up because once again I needed it. She had a lot of games I needed, so I figured I'd knock them all out at once. And another Game Tech game, we have Super Jeopardy once again. If you've ever played Jeopardy, you know all about that. And now comes the meat and potatoes of the reason why I bought all this. Wow, that was crazy. Okay, so my phone just flipped because, like I said, I had no tripod. So it was probably a pretty cool looking effect on your end there. And anyway, I got the Lone Ranger, which is another Konami game. Once again, that label looks freaking awesome. And I never played this game when I was a kid. I was never a big Lone Ranger fan. I'm still really not. I actually liked the movie that came out recently with Ryan Armbruster, or whatever his name was, and Artie Hammer, I can't remember his name, and Johnny Depp. And it was actually a pretty fun movie. The show, my dad said he used to watch, or whatever. It used to be the comics, I can't remember. But the game, how to explain it? The overhead view kind of looks like an RPG, like Zelda 2, where you're following the trail going around, and you run into enemies, and you go into like an action screen where you're attacking enemies, and you're punching, and you're shooting, and the animations look a lot like Metal Gear, the original Metal Gear, but the music is really good. It's a pretty fun game from what I played of it. I'm definitely going to play more of it later. And it's not a real meat and potato title. It's probably about $18 with the manual and everything. But okay, now these are the reasons why I really wanted it right here. First, we have another pick a video where they decided to do this and decided to do all this and car PAB again. But we have Ocean's Addams Family Pugsley Scavenger Hunt. This was based on the cartoon version of the Addams Family, which is what really got me into the Addams Family, because I'm only 36, so I didn't really watch a lot when I was younger. I started watching the reruns and whatnot, which I thought was great. The cartoon was pretty funny. I used to watch it quite a bit. It's a platformer where you're going around as Pugsley, and I'm not really sure what you're doing. You're scavenger hunting something or other. And yeah, she's played it. Anyway, you do like belly slides and jumping and about to fall down again, all that kind of crazy stuff. And I really need to get me a new tripod. Okay, so then we have, which this game shocked me when I found out how much it's actually worth. We have, has a couple labels on the back here, but we have Jimmy Connors Tennis. There aren't a lot of expensive sports titles out there. On the Nintendo, there's a couple of them. There's Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, which is going around 20-ish or so. Regular Punch-Out, which is, I think, is going around the same price now, actually. Then we have Bases Loaded 4. Can't remember the other one. Pro Sports Hockey. Jimmy Connors Tennis, which is about a $30 game. Once again, only $3. Only $3. $5 for Lone Ranger. Like I said, they had a book of 5 without 3. Jimmy Connors, and there was one more other game I really can't remember, but there was like 5 of them, sports titles that are pretty expensive on the Nintendo, and Jimmy Connors is one of them. Just look at it. He's going nuts. He's like, ugh! I don't know nothing about tennis, but this guy looks like he's really into it. I really wish he quit, Jim Jaden.
Okay.
Okay, then 2 more titles. We got a Sammy. Oh, that is put out by Ubisoft, by the way. Ubisoft, whatever.
That's your sound.
We have Might and Magic, put out by Sammy. Might and Magic is a dungeon crawler game. And this game cost me $5, and it came with both the Adventures Guidebook, which is pretty big, and apparently, according to this, and the game is called Might and Magic: The Secret of the Inner Sanctum. And I also got a map with it, which I'm not going to pull all the way out, but I got the map with it. I believe that's like a $40 game right now, so that's definitely one of the higher ups. And then the final game, which once again is about another $40 game. I think right now is trick number 3 on my rarity list. I got Mario's Time Machine. Look at that. Mario's Time Machine. This is one of the games you don't see that often. Hard freaking game. Kind of hard to explain. From what I can tell, this probably came out after Super Mario World, because you come up riding Yoshi, and you can do the spin jump and everything, so it's interesting. Basically, you go around into different time periods, and you have to do different things. It's kind of like Bill and Ted, but with Mario. So, but that was all the pickups this time. And I got a couple other videos to throw in here and there. I got some more pickups coming soon. The woman who sold me all these games, which is like $111 for all of those ones you just see, ended up, by the way, all these little things back here that she's showing you, I guess she has it in here, they all cost $1 at Goodwill. So I really couldn't beat it. $1 each for Goodwill, because they're usually like $7 or $8 at Target.
There's also Boo.
Yeah, there's also a Boo, which is on top of my arcade, which you probably was trying to get, but couldn't get, luckily. Anyway, the woman who sold me all these told me, well, her husband was talking to me, apparently he has a bunch of PlayStation games as well, and a Super Nintendo, and maybe N64, and things like that. And he's wanting to talk to me first before he sells them to anybody else, because I told him I'm really into collecting, which I am, and he's going to help me out, which is cool. So hopefully he's got some great games. With the games that he had for Nintendo, he may have had some great ones for the other ones too. Apparently he went around these game stores and they started liquidating these systems and basically bought out what they had. And that's kind of cool, because that's how a lot of these games like Mario Time Machine get into collections, because most people didn't buy it when they first came out. By the way, Ed apparently had it. and he decided to buy them all, and he probably got them all cheap. But I mean, games like Panic Restaurant, oh my god, I would have killed to have that for $5. But that shows you that those games are still out there, and although I missed it, my friend Danny did, and he sold it to somebody else. Somebody who really wants it in their collection, not just reselling it, can find them. They're hard. And these weren't in search of ad. This woman posted the Facebook post, which I'll show pictures of, where she was like, "Here, I got all these games, $3 without books, $5 with books. Come and get them." And it's just shocking to see an ad like that. And I'm glad that she's gonna save the other ones for me and let me see first. Who knows? Maybe I'll pull out a sculptor's cut for $5, complete a box, or maybe a complete box copy of Bronchi the Brontosaurus or something. I mean, you never know what you can find out there. So keep looking, and remember, there is a wide market of video games, and you'll never know where you're going to find games or how you're going to find games, but they are out there.